Welcome to Alt Investing Made Easy, where we explore the complex world of alternative assets. I'm Roland, a securities attorney, investment advisor, and your co-host.
And I'm Sarah, an investment advisor and corporate attorney, and your other co-host. We'll guide you through real estate, private equity, and more, making complex topics accessible.
Tune in for insights that empower your financial journey.
Let's make alt investing easy, one episode at a time.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alt Investing Made Easy. Today, we're presenting a short video about an investment opportunity that's available with Mr. Mark Flickinger of BIP Ventures. Mark, would you like to tell us about yourself, your business, and the investment opportunity for accredited investors?
Sure, I'd love to. Thanks for having me. My name's Mark Flickinger. I'm General Partner and Chief Operating Officer at BIP Ventures based in Atlanta, Georgia. We've been doing private equity investing, starting at kind of early stage investing and then multi-stage up through growth equity as these businesses warrant additional capital for over 15 years now. We recently launched a product named BIP Ventures Evergreen BDC. And the purpose for that is to really take that 15 plus years of experience and track record of success that we've had historically and put it in a fund that's just much more accessible for people who are interested in participating in the private markets. It is a evergreen BDC or business development company structure. And what that allows us to do is allows us to have an unlimited number of accredited investors, so a much lower threshold than your kind of typical traditional private equity or venture capital funds. That threshold for accredited investors is only $1 million of investable assets, or you've made $200 individually in the past year, or $300,000 jointly in the past year. So a much lower threshold than some of these higher thresholds. And because of that, the unlimited number, the minimum to invest is only $10,000. And so, here you have, in our perspective, you have a kind of investment team with a track record of success over the past 15 plus years, put in a vehicle or a wrapper that's much more accessible to people, where they can get into that product, buy into a growing basket of assets, and really start to participate in the private markets in a way that up until now has been much more challenging for people to access.
Yeah, so Mark, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your specific investment philosophy.
Yeah, thanks, Roland. We are active business builders as opposed to just being buyers of businesses. We view our position as to really partner with these entrepreneurs and help them achieve the opportunity in front of them in the most efficient way that we can. So that starts early. We like to find companies, typically in Series A, kind of first institutional investors in these businesses, in areas where we believe that we have the right to win. We have expertise in a particular area, leverageable networks, domain expertise. We kind of know what the problems are in a space and what need to be solved. As these entrepreneurs align with kind of what we're doing and where we're going, we love to invest in them early. And then based on the structure of this fund, as well as kind of the ethos of the firm, we love to continue to invest in promising companies. They do their job. We're happy to do our job to continue to kind of fund their growth going forward. That's been a great partnership. It wins from an investor's perspective. We're exposing smaller amounts of capital earlier in a fund's life or a company's life. And then as we learn more about that company, we know that kind of the value prop that they're providing is actually resonating in the market. Happy to follow on and deploy more capital into those promising companies.
Great. Thank you, Mark. And do you want to just add what you had just mentioned about the registration and other availability to access your fund?
Sure. So the fund that we mentioned, BIP Ventures Evergreen BDC, it is a publicly filed fund. So it has 10Ks, 10Qs. What that does is it gives a greater level of transparency and consistency for investors, particularly it doesn't matter where you are in your own kind of journey, but anyone who's just entering this space, knowing that you're going to have these regulatory filings that have a really high standard or a high bar is important. So they are publicly registered, privately traded, but publicly registered funds. And because of their evergreen nature, we actually have been able to work with getting them approved on both Schwab and Fidelity in terms of platforms. And so for whether it's an RIA that's interested in bringing the product onto their platform or an individual, an investor, you can invest out of those two large, very successful firms, Schwab and Fidelity.
That's great to know, and that solves the problem really, and what we had mentioned before. That are to some degree, where do I find out about these great opportunities? You've provided a solution to that question.
So why don't we wrap this up? All contact details will be made available below in the show notes. And Mark, just really thank you for joining us today. It's wonderful to get to know you and to hear about your product.
I really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun chatting with you, and I look forward to the next time.
Likewise.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mark.
So thanks to everyone for joining us for this mini episode of Alt Investing Made Easy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.